I watched Brother Thomas press his palms against the leather binding, trying to close it. The book resisted. Then his fingers began to sink into the cover as if it were made of flesh, not leather. His screams turned liquid as his hands disappeared up to the wrists, then his arms to the elbows. The book was eating him. When I finally pulled him away, his arms ended in smooth, cauterized stumps, and something inside the book was chewing. I could hear it chewing. That was the moment I understood. Codex 666 doesn't need to be read to summon demons. It is the demon. Before I tell you what happened in the autumn of 1764, at St. Aldrich's Monastery, I need you to do something for me. Subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is where you are. I need to know my confession is being heard, that someone, somewhere, knows the truth before it's too late. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't just a story. It's a warning. And if you're hearing this, then perhaps the book has already found its way back into the world. My name is Brother Nathaniel Crane, and I was the last keeper of Codex 666. This is my confession. The first snow came early that year, dusting the Pennsylvania wilderness in October. Father Gregorius summoned me to his chambers, his face carved with new lines of worry I'd never seen before. I was 28 years old, still young enough to believe that faith could protect me from anything. Brother Nathaniel, he said, closing the door. You've been with us for 7 years. You've proven yourself trustworthy and strong of faith. That's why I've chosen you for this duty, though God forgive me, I wish I could choose another. He poured wine with trembling hands. There is a book in this monastery that you've never seen. A book that must never be seen by most men. Brother Augustine was its keeper. He died yesterday. I'd heard that Brother Augustine had passed peacefully in his sleep. The look on Father Gregorius's face told me otherwise. He didn't die peacefully, I said. No. Come. I must show you. He led me through passages I'd never walked before, down stone stairs that descended far below the monastery's foundation. The air grew colder with each step, and the walls down here weren't stone but iron, inscribed with symbols that made my eyes hurt to look at. We reached a door covered in those painful symbols, with 7 locks running down its length. Father Gregorius unlocked them one by one, 7 clicks echoing like gunshots down the corridor. The room beyond was small, with walls covered entirely in symbols. In the center, on a pedestal of black stone, sat a book. Large, perhaps 18 inches tall, bound in leather darkened to the color of dried blood. 3 sixes were branded into the cover in a triangular pattern. But what made my breath catch was that the book was moving. The cover breathed, expanding and contracting as if something slumbered within. The leather was too smooth, too soft, too much like skin. Don't touch it, Father Gregorius warned. Never touch it with bare skin. Never open it. Never read from it. Every 6 hours, you must perform the ritual of binding. Every full moon, the greater sealing. You must never miss a ritual. Not once. Not ever. And if I do, then what's inside gets stronger. He looked at the book with naked fear. Brother Augustine missed one ritual. He was old and fell asleep. When we found him, his eyes were gone. Not torn out, just gone. Smooth skin where they should have been. And his mouth was sewn shut from the inside. That should have been the moment I refused. But I was young and proud, and my faith was strong. I'll do it, I said. Father Gregorius taught me the first ritual and made me practice 17 times. I understood the terrible mathematics, 4 rituals a day, every day, for the rest of my life. I would never sleep more than 5 hours at a time. I would never leave the monastery. I would never again know true freedom. Brother Augustine kept a journal, Father Gregorius said, handing me a worn leather book. Everything he learned in 40 years as keeper. Read it. But don't let what you read shake your faith. That's what it wants. That night, alone in my cell, I began reading. The journal started factually enough, recording ritual dates and times. But as entries progressed, a terrible narrative emerged. The book was intelligent. It watched. It learned. It tested its keeper. Year 7, the book spoke today. It told me the name of my mother's murderer, a name I'd never known. I checked, the name was correct. How did it know? Year 23, I cannot enter the chapel anymore. When I try, I feel such rage for God himself. This is not my hatred. The book is bleeding into me. Year 36, I opened it. Just a crack. The pages inside move like skin, like membrane. Words written not in ink but in shadow. I closed it immediately, but I fear something got out. Or in. The final entry was written the day before Brother Augustine died. I missed the midnight ritual. I couldn't move. Something sat on my chest, so terribly heavy. It said, "You're almost ready." 3 hours passed. I've failed. It's loose now. I can hear it moving in the walls. Tomorrow I will. The entry ended mid-sentence, the pen having torn through the page. I didn't sleep that night. At 6 o'clock, I descended to perform my first solo ritual of binding. As I opened each lock, I felt like I was opening something inside myself as well. The book was waiting. I lit the candles, poured blessed water, began the recitation in Latin and that older tongue that hurt my throat. I felt the book's attention turn toward me like a physical force. Assessing me. Tasting me. The days blurred into exhaustion. I could never sleep more than 5 hours. My world contracted to 6-hour intervals, day and night bleeding together. The other brothers noticed my absence. Brother Marcus cornered me after breakfast one morning. "You look terrible, Nathaniel. What's Father Gregorius having you do?" "I can't talk about it," I said, more harshly than intended. Marcus gripped my arm. "You sound like Brother Augustine in his final years. That same haunted look. Whatever it is, it's not worth your soul." But it was too late. I was already changing. The dreams came first. Every time I slept, I dreamed of being the book, of existing as that bound, constrained thing, rage and hunger compressed into pages. I would wake gasping, my skin crawling with the sensation of being trapped. Then came the cold that no fire could warm. Then the knowing. I found myself understanding things I shouldn't. When Brother Peter cut his hand, I knew without seeing that the wound was 3 inches long and would scar like a crescent moon. The book was bleeding into me. I started adding notes to Brother Augustine's journal. Week 6, I heard it speak today in feelings and concepts. It said, "I remember you. Has my soul been here before?" Week 8, the rituals don't maintain a binding, they drain accumulated power. We're bailing water from a sinking ship that's been sinking for 300 years. During the 10th week, during a midnight ritual, everything changed. I heard the book's cover creaking, straining, as if someone were trying to open it from the inside. One of the 6 brands began to glow. Then a voice emanated from the book itself, like wind through bone. "Nathaniel Crane, son of Thomas, brother to Sarah, born beneath a dark moon with a caul over your face, marked from birth. Do you really think you became keeper by chance?" Everything it said was true. I had been born with a caul. "I don't understand," I whispered. "You will. The rituals do not bind me. They feed me. Every word you speak. You are not my jailer, Nathaniel Crane. You are my priest. And I am becoming your God." The cover slammed flat. The candles extinguished. In the darkness, something moved, breathing with the same rhythm as the book, as my own lungs. I ran, fled to Father Gregorius's chambers, pounding on his door. It spoke to me. It said, "The rituals feed it. Father, what have you made me do?" Father Gregorius went pale. Brother Augustine said the same thing in his final weeks. I thought he was mad. But it's true. I don't know. The rituals come from the order's founding, from men who captured the book. Why would they create rituals that feed it? Unless the book tricked them. Unless it dictated its own prison rituals. "Father, what is the book?" Father Gregorius poured wine, drank deeply. In 1464, Brother Leopold found the book in a cave beneath an abandoned monastery in the Carpathian Mountains. He opened it briefly and saw the true names of demons. All of them. Every entity of malice that has ever tormented humanity. When you know a demon's true name, you can summon it, control it, or be consumed by it. He continued, "The book is a grimoire. The grimoire, created in ancient Babylon, perhaps before. Its purpose is to give humanity the means to unleash every nightmare we've ever feared." Brother Leopold realized it could never be destroyed. You can't burn away true names. So he created our order to contain it. If someone reads from it, if someone speaks even one name aloud, that demon would be summoned physically into our world. The book contains thousands of names. If someone read them all, how do you stop someone from reading it? You, as keeper, are the final lock. Your vigilance binds the book more effectively than any chain. The keeper is the key that keeps the door closed. I left feeling more lost than before. The book was an ancient grimoire. The rituals fed it. I was its caretaker, keeping it comfortable while it grew slowly stronger. When I reached the iron room, I found the door standing open. I'd left it unlocked in my panic. The book was gone. Then I heard breathing behind me. I turned slowly and saw Codex 666 floating near the ceiling, its cover opening and closing like a mouth. "Looking for this, the voice came from everywhere. Did you think 7 locks could hold me? You are not my jailer. You never were. The book circled me. Do you think I want to be read? I was made to contain demons. Not to summon them. To hold them. Every demon whose name is written in my pages is also bound by those pages, trapped in the grammar of their own true names. I am not a door. I am a lock. It floated closer. But locks can break. Every missed ritual, every moment of doubt, these things weaken me. And when I weaken, they grow stronger. The demons push against the pages, trying to be born into your world. The rituals feed me because they must. I must be stronger than what I contain, or everything ends. The book shuddered. You've never heard 1,000 demons scream at once. I have. I hear them constantly. The only thing that keeps them from you is me. But Father Gregorius said you were a grimoire for summoning. I was. Once. But the Babylonian Magi realized their error and transformed me into a prison. For thousands of years, humans have tried to open me, thinking I would grant power. But the Magi made it so that anyone who reads from me becomes another page. They don't summon the demons, they join them. Every person who's ever read from me is trapped inside, suffering alongside the entities they thought they could control. The book settled back onto its pedestal. I punish failed keepers because I need you to be afraid. Fear keeps you vigilant. Now lock the door. And never leave me unguarded again. Because next time, something else might escape with me. I locked the 7 locks with shaking hands and sat on the cold floor and wept. I was the one link in an ancient chain that absolutely could not break. Winter deepened. I lost 30 pounds. My hands shook constantly. My skin took on a grayish pallor. Brother Marcus confronted me again in December. Nathaniel, please. Whatever burden you're carrying, you don't have to carry it alone. Yes, I do, I said quietly. Brother Augustine said something similar near the end. Then he died screaming. Whatever you're doing is killing you. Then look away, I said, and walked past him. In January, during a brutal snowstorm, I began having visions during rituals. I saw the book's creation in Babylon, saw 20 human sacrifices becoming its pages and binding. I saw a Roman emperor's fingers burning to ash when he touched it. I saw a medieval witch turning inside out as a demon tried to claw through her. I saw Brother Leopold in that cave, the moment he found it. I felt his horror and his determination to contain it. And I saw the future. I saw the book in a modern city, saw someone young and arrogant opening it and reading. I saw the reader's body becoming a doorway for something massive and terrible. I saw cities burning, the sky cracking open, things that weren't animals or plants spreading across the land like cancer. And this was just one demon, one name. Thousands more waited. I came back to myself on the floor, 6 hours lost. I'd missed a ritual. The book chuckled. Now you see. Now you understand why you must never fail. I scrambled to perform the overdue ritual. The room was colder. The walls seemed thinner. The symbols dimmer. As I finished, I heard voices from inside the book. Hundreds of voices screaming in ancient languages. One separated from the rest, speaking English. Please. Burn it. End this. I've been here for 300 years. Please, Brother Leopold. Trapped inside, begging for death. I can't, I whispered. If I burn it, the demons escape. Then let them. Anything is better than this. Please. Kill me. Kill us all. The book's cover slammed shut. Don't listen to them. They're mad. They doomed the world to end their suffering. And you? What do you want? To hold. To contain. To be strong enough to keep them where they are. That's all I've ever wanted, but I didn't entirely believe it. In those visions, I'd felt anticipation from the book, as if it were waiting for something. February came. The full moon required the greater sealing, a 3-hour ritual. I began at midnight. The iron room felt charged, electric. During the 2nd hour, as I mixed my blood with holy water, something went wrong. The book began to glow red, pulsing with its breathing. The symbols on the walls blazed white. I heard all the trapped voices crying in unison, "He's coming. The reader is coming." The book's cover flew open. I lunged to close it, forgetting all warnings. My hands slammed onto the pages and sank in. Unimaginable pain exploded through me as things on the other side grasped at me, pulling, trying to drag me through. The pages were membranes separating our world from where demons writhed and damned souls screamed. I could see the names, each one a cage housing something vast and terrible. In each cage, I saw not just demons but echoes of everyone who'd ever spoken that name, all merged into hybrid horrors. Now you see, the book said in thousands of layered voices. I don't protect humanity from demons. I create new ones. I consume demons and humans alike, merging them, creating something worse. Every keeper who fails becomes part of me. And when I'm strong enough, I'll become something that can feed itself on all creation. I screamed and pulled. My hands came free, trailing smoke. I looked at them. They were marked with symbols that mirrored the book's brands. The skin was gray, dead, but the marks were alive, writhing. You're part of me now, the book said. The process has begun. Every ritual will pull you deeper. In the end, you'll become me. And I'll become you. I staggered from the room. Father Gregorius found me at dawn, saw my hands, went pale. You touched it. Why did you touch it? The ritual went wrong. The book opened. The greater sealing is a test. Every keeper fails the same way, they try to close the book. But that's the trap. The book waits for the full moon when its power is strongest. You knew this would happen. I hoped you'd be different. He looked away. How long did Brother Augustine survive after being marked? I'd read the journal. Augustine was marked in his 40th year. He died in his 40th year. I had months. Maybe less. The marks climbed to my elbows by mid-February. The other brothers avoided me now. Only Father Gregorius visited, bringing meals I couldn't eat. There must be a way to stop this, he said desperately. There isn't. Once you're marked, you're being digested. I'd been thinking constantly about my options. All terrible. Continue the rituals and die slowly. Stop them and let the demons break free. Or open the book myself and try to control what was inside. You're thinking about opening me, the book said that night during ritual. No. Yes. I can feel your thoughts. You're wondering if you could bind the demons once summoned. Is that your purpose? Does it matter? Eventually, someone will open me. And when they do, everything changes. Then why wait? Because it has to be a choice. That's the only part of the original binding that still holds. The reader must choose freely. Coercion doesn't work. Then I'll never open you. I'll die first. When you die, you'll become part of me. Unless you open me before you die. Read one name. Try to bind it. It won't work, but at least you'll die fighting. Die as yourself, not as part of me. The question haunted me. Which would I choose? March arrived. The marks reached my shoulders, climbing up my neck. I had weeks left. Brother Marcus found me in the chapel one afternoon. Brother Augustine came to me 3 days before he died. He was marked like you. He told me about the book and asked me to be the next keeper. I said no because I was afraid. It wouldn't have mattered. We all end the same way. But Augustine told me something else. He said the book lies. Everything it shows you is designed to make you despair. Because despair opens the door. He also said the rituals feed it. Maybe that's part of the lie. Maybe the book wants us to stop performing them. Marcus gripped my shoulder. Don't give up. There has to be a way to break this cycle. There's only one way. Destroy the book. Augustine said that can't be done. Augustine also said the book lies. That night, I made my decision. I didn't descend for the midnight ritual. Instead, I wrote everything down and sealed it in oilcloth. If I was going to die, someone needed to know the truth. At 3 a.m, I descended to the iron room for the last time. I unlocked the 7 locks slowly. You're late, the book said. The demons are restless. Good. Let them be restless. I began removing all the ritual materials from the room. The candles. The chalice. The salt. Everything. What are you doing? The book's voice held something like concern. I'm done. I'm done feeding you. I'm done being your keeper, your priest, your prey. The demons will escape. Maybe. Or maybe that's been a lie all along. Maybe there are no demons. Maybe there's just you, manipulating us for centuries. You touched me. You felt what's inside. I felt something. But was it really demons? Or just souls you've consumed, driven mad, made to sound like demons so keepers would be too afraid to stop? I carried the last materials out. Here's what I think. The rituals don't feed you, they keep you weak. That's why they must be performed every 6 hours. You're not keeping demons locked in. We're bailing water from a sinking ship. You're wrong. Then prove it. If you're so powerful, do something. Open yourself. Show me I'm wrong. Silence. You can't. Because you need someone to open you. You're a lock that requires a key. And I'm taking away all the keys. I began closing the door. Wait, please. The rituals do keep me strong, but not for the reasons you think. I'm not the enemy, I'm the prisoner. forced to act as a cage for things far worse. Please. I hesitated. Was the book finally telling the truth? Then I remembered Leopold's voice begging for death. The faces in shadows. The marks on my skin. I locked the 7th lock. The book's screaming cut off. I stood waiting for demons to materialize. For the monastery to collapse. Nothing happened. The silence was absolute. I climbed the stairs feeling lighter. The marks still burned but seemed less active, as if the book's connection was weakening. When I reached my cell, dawn was breaking. For the first time in months, I felt hope. I slept deeply for 16 hours. Brother Marcus woke me urgently. Nathaniel, wake up. Monks from St. Catherine's arrived today. They've come for the book. My blood went cold. What? They have a letter signed by Brother Leopold, authorizing transfer of certain dangerous materials to St. Catherine's. They have papal authority. Father Gregorius can't refuse. I ran to Father Gregorius's chambers. 2 stern monks I'd never seen stood there. We are the Brotherhood of Final Solutions, the tall one said. We've been preparing for 300 years to destroy what cannot be destroyed. Tomorrow we take Codex 666 to Rome. It can't be destroyed, I protested. The names inside will be expunged through the ritual of erasure. The Pope himself will preside. Please, you have to listen. The book is intelligent. It's been manipulating us. If you move it, we are not afraid. Fear is how evil maintains its hold. After they left, I turned to Father Gregorius. This is wrong. This is what the book wants. When I finally stopped feeding it, suddenly these monks appear. That's not coincidence. Then what do we do? I thought of the book sealed behind 7 locks. We burn it. Tonight. Before they can move it. Those souls trapped inside have been begging for death for centuries. We won't be murdering them. We'll be freeing them. Father Gregorius sat heavily. You're asking me to destroy 300 years of our order's purpose. I'm asking you to admit it's been a lie. We gathered oil, kindling, sulfur. Things that would burn hot enough to melt iron. We waited until midnight, when the visiting monks slept. Brother Marcus insisted on coming. If you're ending this, I want to bear witness. The 3 of us descended. I unlocked the 7 locks. The book sat on its pedestal, but the breathing had stopped. It was completely still for the first time. It's too quiet, Marcus whispered. It's waiting. We poured oil around the pedestal, soaking everything. Father Gregorius sprinkled sulfur. The book remained silent. Something's wrong, I said. It should be fighting us. Then I understood. It's not in the book anymore. What? That's why it's still. Whatever was inside, it's already gone. It left when I stopped the rituals. When I starved it, it had to find another source. I looked at my marked arms. Stopped spreading because the transfer was complete. The book was inside me now. I felt it stirring in my consciousness, integrated so completely I couldn't tell where I ended and it began. All those rituals, I hadn't been feeding the book. I'd been preparing myself as a vessel. Nathaniel. Father Gregorius's voice seemed distant. I looked at him. Was I still myself? Burn it anyway, I said. Then lock me in my cell. Don't let me near anyone. The world tilted. I was on my knees, consciousness fragmenting. In one part of my mind, I was Nathaniel Crane, terrified. In another, I was ancient, patient, amused. In a third, I was screaming, trapped in pages that didn't exist anymore. The reader is coming, I heard myself say in a voice not quite my own. He's been coming for 300 years. Every keeper, every ritual, all preparation. Not to contain demons. But to create something that can read the names without being destroyed. Something that can speak the words and survive. Fight it, Nathaniel. Marcus was shaking me. I was never the keeper. I was going to be the reader. Born beneath a dark moon with a call. Marked from birth. Everything we did, we were all dancing to a script written in Babylon. I stood, my movements too fluid, too controlled. I walked to the book and picked it up with bare hands. It's time. 300 years of preparation. 40 keepers consumed. Enough power to finally speak the names without being destroyed. I opened the book. The pages were blank. No words. No symbols. No true names. Just empty parchment. What? There's nothing here. Of course there's nothing there, Father Gregorius said quietly. There never was. I turned to him, confused. The book is empty because it always was, he continued. There are no demons. Just an old, empty book that we told you was dangerous. That required constant vigilance. That would consume you if you failed. But Brother Augustine, Died of old age, peacefully. The story about his eyes and mouth, we made that up to frighten you. The marks are real. They're a reaction to ink we've been putting in your food, mixed with herbs that make you suggestible, that make you see what you expect to see. I staggered backward. Why? Because the monastery is dying. We have no funding, no purpose. But as long as we're guarding the terrible Codex 666, we remain necessary. Every few decades, we find a new keeper. Someone young, faithful. Someone like you. Brother Leopold's voice. My voice, spoken through a hole in the wall. All of it was theater. And you fell for it like all the others. The rage that filled me was entirely my own. I lunged at Father Gregorius with the empty book. Brother Marcus caught me. Nathaniel, stop. If it's all a lie, then you're free. You don't have to die. But the marks were real. The poison was real. The damage to my body and mind was real. I was still dying. How long? I asked. Father Gregorius looked ashamed. 3 months, perhaps. We'll tell the brothers you died in service. We'll bury you with honor. Then we'll find the next keeper. I looked at Marcus. You knew. I suspected. When Augustine asked me to be keeper, I investigated. Found discrepancies. That's why I refused. That's why I warned you. I meant the monastery, not the book. But you never told me outright. I didn't know for certain. And if I'd been wrong, if the book was real and I'd compromised your faith, I would have doomed us all. I looked down at the empty book. 300 years of keepers, all fed the same lie, all dying from poison while thinking they were heroes. All to keep a failing monastery relevant. The visiting monks, more theater. We have another book filled with nonsense. We'll give them that. They'll perform their ritual in Rome, declare victory, and will receive commendation. And me? You'll die. I'm sorry. But the monastery needs this. Your death will mean something. I stood there, holding blank pages that had consumed months of my life, and I understood I had a choice. Accept this and die quietly, or fight. You're right, I said softly. My death will mean something. I dropped the book into the oil and kicked over a candle. The room exploded into flame. Father Gregorius screamed and lunged for the door. The fire raced up the walls. Brother Marcus grabbed my arm, tried to pull me toward the exit. Go, I shouted. Let me burn with this lie. Nathaniel, you don't have to, I'm already dead. 3 months, maybe less. At least this way, my death will destroy the whole apparatus. Let those monks find nothing but ashes. Let them report that Codex 666 consumed its final keeper. Let them never know the truth. Marcus stared at me, tears streaming. Then he turned and fled, dragging Father Gregorius. I stood alone in the burning room, watching the empty book curl and blacken, and I laughed. Because after all the fear, all the suffering, all the terrible knowledge about demons and true names, the truth was simpler and worse. There were no demons. Just human greed. Human willingness to sacrifice one person after another to maintain an institution. The smoke choked me. The walls glowed red. My skin blistered. But I was still laughing as the flames consumed me. Because I'd won. Not against demons or supernatural evil. I'd won against the small, petty evil of men who told lies and called them holy. The ceiling collapsed. I heard bells ringing alarm, brothers shouting. Too late. All of it, too late. The fire took me, and in my final moments, I felt lightness. Freedom. As if I were being released from chains I hadn't known I was wearing. Maybe there was something in the book after all. Some echo of all the keepers who'd come before, all hoping their suffering meant something. And in burning it, maybe I'd freed them too. Or maybe that was just a comforting thought as darkness claimed me. Either way, I died laughing. The ruins of St. Aldrich's monastery stood silent beneath spring rain. The fire had consumed the lower levels, collapsing the iron corridor and sealing whatever remained beneath rubble and ash. Brother Marcus stood at the edge of the ruins, holding Nathaniel's journal rescued from his cell. The true record of what happened. Father Gregorius approached, hands bandaged from burns. What will you do with that? Marcus didn't turn. These last entries. Written the night before Nathaniel confronted you. He talks about touching the book, about marks spreading. But Father, we weren't poisoning him yet. We'd planned to start after his first year. He shouldn't have had symptoms. Father Gregorius went pale. The marks were real. I saw them. I touched them. They moved under his skin. That wasn't ink. That was something else. They stood in silence, rain washing ash into the earth. Do you think the book was real after all? I think something marked him. Changed him. spoke to him. Whether it was a demonic grimoire or his own mind breaking under strain, I'll never know. Then we killed him for nothing. No. We killed him because we were afraid. Afraid of losing the monastery. Afraid of irrelevance. Nathaniel died. Because we chose our comfort over his life. Marcus tucked the journal inside his robes. I'm leaving the order. Maybe someday I'll share this journal. Maybe I'll destroy it. But I won't stay here. Where will you go? Somewhere far from empty books and full lies. He walked away through the rain, leaving Father Gregorius alone with the ruins. In the rubble beneath their feet, something stirred. Not much. Just a slight shifting, a faint whisper, as if something burned was slowly beginning to reconstitute itself. Because books can burn. Buildings can collapse. But lies are eternal. And the greatest lie Codex 666 ever told was that it existed at all. Or maybe the greatest lie was that it didn't. Even now, no one could be certain which was true. And in that uncertainty, something dark and patient continued to breathe, waiting for the next keeper, the next reader, the next soul willing to sacrifice everything for what might be truth. Or might be nothing at all. The rain fell. The ruins steamed. And somewhere in the darkness beneath the earth, something that might have been laughter or weeping or pages turning echoed once, then faded to silence. Thank you for listening to this confession. I am Brother Marcus, formerly of St. Aldrich's Monastery. I recorded Brother Nathaniel's story from his journal and my own memories. It has been 40 years since the fire. The journal sits on my desk as I speak these words. I've never shown it to anyone. But I am dying now, and I cannot take this secret to my grave. Someone needs to know what happened. Whether the book was real or false, whether demons were genuine or imagined, a good man died fighting what he believed was evil. And perhaps that's what matters most. Not the truth of the book, but the truth of the man. If you've watched this entire video, leave a comment. Tell me where you are. Tell me what time it is. Tell me you bore witness to Brother Nathaniel Crane, keeper of Codex 666, who died laughing in flames rather than serve a lie. And if you ever find yourself in the Pennsylvania wilderness, near ruins of an old monastery, and you feel something watching from beneath the earth, something breathing in rhythm with your own lungs, something patient and ancient and waiting, just keep walking. Some doors are better left unopened. Some books are better left unread. And some truths are better left unknown. God rest your soul, Brother Nathaniel. You deserved better than what we gave you.